What's good, Miami sports fans? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Miami Sports Break. David Eversole here. Got a special guest with us. I'm going to introduce him in just a moment. But before we jump in, want to mention one of our great sponsors here at the Miami Sports Break and at 5 Reasons Sports, La Terrain Watches. Great watches, high quality, very affordable prices, something for every occasion. You can check them out at la-terrain.com. Make sure to use promo code 5RSN for 10% off. Want to introduce my guest here to my right, your left. So it's Adam Raymer from Bama. I'm sorry, Bama Lounge Pod, and he's going to join us. Want to actually have him on the show leading up to the Alabama-Miami game, but we just couldn't get our schedules on the same page. So want to welcome Adam to the show. How you doing tonight, brother?
Man, I am good. I appreciate you having me on. Sorry about the Miami thing. We tried, but we just had a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on tonight. We'll talk a little Mac Jones, a little Tua.
Yeah, we're not going to relive the Alabama stuff too much. I think that ship has already sailed. But it was a good game from your perspective. But there's a lot of football left in the college season. But we wanted to bring you on here because very few people that we know in our network really know Mac Jones and Tua to the level that you have followed them. So before we talk about that, give our audience a little bit of background on you and talk about your programs and stuff a little bit.
Yeah, so obviously you can find me on Twitter at Adam Raymer 11 or our show's page. It's at Bama Lounge. We cover everything Bama, really. It gets really exciting during football season and basketball season now too. They've kind of, they've got good sports regardless, but football season's mine and Blake's favorite season to cover. It's the biggest sport and draw at Alabama. Like I said, me and David were talking before. I've been a Bama fan since I don't even know how long. It's my whole life. I'm 39 years old. So, but yeah, it's probably, our show's been on for almost a year, right at a year maybe. And I've always been a fan, obviously. I am not a real stats-driven guy. Like, I don't get analytic. I just like talking about them. And we'll throw stats out on our shows. We got them pulled up. But we just like talking. And our show's more of like a fan point of view, like just being a fan. So, but yeah, man, I've been an Alabama fan my whole life. So I know them in and out. I've been there through the bad times. And it wasn't real great until Nick Saban stepped foot in Tuscaloosa for us. So, yeah, it's a good time to be an Alabama football fan. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, definitely. You guys are at the top of college football, and you have been for a long time. So, you're here today. Obviously, we're going to lead up to the Sunday matchup between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. And a lot of the talk leading into this game has been about the two quarterbacks. So, wanted to get your take on this whole Tua Mac Jones dynamic. I guess let's just start kind of giving your assessment of Mac Jones in his first game, what you might expect to see him, and why is he already being kind of compared ahead of Tua and not even starting a game in the NFL? So give us a little bit of insight into all this rationale if you can.
Mac Jones last season, I'm going to say for me was a surprise at Alabama. Maybe not a surprise, but he exceeded my expectations of what he could do with a football in his hand. Is he the most athletic dude on the field? God, no. No. He's not. He'll put his head down and run if he needs to. He won't run that much. It's more scrambling, obviously. But that man is one of the most accurate college quarterbacks of all time in one season. He set records. He has the stigma of look who he had behind him or around him, which is very true. We had probably the top 5 offensive line last year at Alabama. We had arguably probably one of the best receiving cores ever in college football. Here's the thing about Mac Jones. You can say all of that, and those are all valid points. What you can't say is that guy still has to make throws regardless. He still has to throw the football where people can catch the football or dump off or whatever. Mac Jones will stay in the pocket. He's not afraid to get hit. He's a decent-sized guy. But he's smart with the football. He doesn't force passes. He'll throw the ball away when he needs to. He knows all of his reads, his first, his second, his third read. That's another thing. He is a playbook guru. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but somebody, I don't know who said it, something in New England, that Mac Jones was teaching the playbook to Cam Newton. And Cam Newton's been there, obviously, last year and now. But I actually predicted Mac Jones to start in week 4, not week 1. I just said I said that I didn't think that Mac would win the job from Cam. I think Cam would have gave the job to Mac Jones because he underperforms. So I'm actually a little shocked that we're going to have this Tua and Mac Jones competition in week 1. It's exciting. When was the last time that Alabama had 3 starting quarterbacks in the NFL in week 1? Can't really say that because I don't know if it's even happened. But Miami, I don't know. Obviously, I follow Miami a little bit. I follow it. For me now, it's following players that come out of Alabama. I mean, I live in Nashville, so I am a Titans fan. I've been here 20 years, and we got Julio now, thank God. But I follow certain players from Alabama now, and it's hard to do that. There's so many of them in the league. But obviously, you got Tua, you got Jalen Waddle now, which is great. That's going to help him with chemistry. But I don't know what really, they're totally different quarterbacks, Dave. I mean, they're not the same person. It's Tua. I don't know if you consider him a pocket passer or not. Mac is. Why all the Tua hate? Is this what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. It's like, I mean, Tua didn't have a bad year last year, given all the circumstances that everybody is aware of ad nauseum, between the hip and the redacted offseason with COVID and everything else. The guy didn't perform bad, and it's just this really weird nationally driven narrative about Tua. Like, why isn't Tua putting up Justin Herbert type numbers? So give me a little bit of perspective about that. I know his personality and follow his game. So what did you think of Tua's rookie season, and why do you think he's getting so much criticism?
Well, look, man, first of all, how good was your offensive line last year?
Yeah, not so good.
Tua is an elite quarterback if you give him time to stay in the pocket and throw. I'm talking elite. I don't know why. I don't know if it's – first of all, that guy, when he got hurt against Mississippi State, it was the same injury that Bo Jackson had. And his career was in jeopardy. That people didn't know if he's going to throw football again. And Bama, dude, you want to read this out?
Do you feel Ryan Tannehill is elite? Is he a top 5 quarterback in the NFL?
Oh
man, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Yeah, that is a good one. But I don't know what everybody is. So, first of all, is his rookie season. He's not gonna. If people were expecting him to come out and throw for 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns, then this is no offense to your Miami team. With the offensive line that you had, you're dead wrong. It's not going to happen. You got to give the man. You got to give the man time to throw. I thought it was an okay rookie season. I think it could have been better. But you got some guys in the offseason, I know, and you got him a receiver that he's comfortable with this year, and he has great chemistry with. And by the way, that guy will help you in special teams. I don't know where they're using him. I haven't seen. But if you put him on special teams, he's going to help you got flip fields for you. Yeah. So
I think he's listed second on the kick and punt return squad behind Jakeem Grant. But yeah, I want to touch on Waddle a little bit too, because that was somebody, especially my co-host Shakari, who couldn't be here tonight with us, but he claimed he was on the Waddle hype train well before the draft. And a lot of us were talking, obviously, the other Bama wide receiver, Devontae Smith, as a fit to Miami. But him and I were under the assumption, like, look, Tua needs a weapon that can not only stretch the field vertically, but from sideline to sideline.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about Waddle's game and how him and Tua are going to fit based on what you saw of them together in college.
You kind of hit the nail on the head, man. Waddle can line up in the slot and run short slants and get you 5 yards. He can take the ball out of the backfield on wide receiver reverses. But what's most impressive is he's not a tall / big dude, but his jumping ability to catch the ball at the high point is out of this world. For how short he is. I think he might be 5'10". I don't know what he's listed at, but he might be 5'10" on a good day.
And he's tough, man. You can talk about, and he didn't have to come back in that national championship game, but he gutted it out on that field. You could tell he was nowhere near 100%. And the fact that he even gave it a go, which he was a top 10 draft pick, whether he plays in that game or not. And the fact that he goes out there.
Yeah. I actually picked him to go to you guys before Devontae. We had a draft party, draft night. We all 6 or 8 of us went live, and they asked me who the first Bama player off the table was going to be, and I said Jalen Waddle to you guys. I didn't think you'd take Devontae Smith. Not that you can't go wrong with either one of those guys, but his playmaking ability. The reason I said it was I think he can help more in the special teams for you guys than what Devontae Smith could do. And not that I didn't even know if you guys needed that, but when you can flip field position and give Tua a short field, and if you've revamped your O-line, man, it's going to be – I think you guys got some things brewing down there.
I'm definitely excited, and I want to circle back real quick to Mac Jones for just a second. So you said he's not the most mobile guy, so – what do you think the Dolphins are going to have to do defensively to kind of slow him down in his first game? What's the kryptonite for Mac Jones, if you will? What do you think Brian Flores and that defense are going to dial up against him?
I think you need to get to him early in the game. I think you're going to have to discourage him a little bit. Like I said, he's really smart. You're going to have to eliminate – his arm is not elite. Mac Jones' arm is not elite. He's got a good arm. It's not Tua's arm, but he's very accurate. So I think you're going to have to keep him to where he's not hitting 20-yard passes and keep him maybe check downs, get to him. You like my crib, man? I appreciate that. I got a lot of Bama stuff in my background.
What about mine, man?
If you can see my light, I got a bunch of Bama. This is my man cave, so I got my big TV back here. But I think getting to him early and often, I think also it's his first NFL start. He's going to be a little nervous. If you can get maybe a couple of quarterback hurries or even not even sacks, touches to kind of rattle his cage a little bit and eliminate, the big explosion plays that he's actually capable of doing. I think getting to him early and often is what's going to help you guys.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he's able to stretch the field vertically and attack a very good Miami secondary. Like you said, he doesn't have elite arm strength. I mean, on the deep ball, I think he's pretty good, but obviously he had some guys running really open at Alabama, so it's kind of hard to overthrow those guys out there. So I think
Jonnu Smith's going to be his best friend in the first 3 weeks. We had him here in Nashville, in Tennessee, and great receiving tight end, but he can probably use him as a scapegoat, to check down and hit little short routes for him. So again, I think getting after the ball or getting after him and forcing him to, I don't even know if it's force turnovers, but to maybe scramble his brain a little bit on where he's going to make his throws.
Right. Yeah. No quarterback obviously likes pressure, and he's not going to beat you with his feet. So you want to you want to collapse the pocket around him. Obviously, bring some pressure from the middle as well, and just get him off his spots. I think he's a rhythm passer, and like I said, if you can kind of throw him a little bit off kilter early and get him out of rhythm, I think that's going to bode well for the Miami defense. But want to switch to his counterpart Tua a little bit. What do you expect to see from Tua in year 2 with a full offseason, with a new weapon, obviously, in Waddle? You added Will Fuller. Mike Gesicki, the tight end, looks to take a big leap up. He's got some decent running backs. Nobody elite, but Myles Gaskin is a pretty good back. And he's got a lot of guys there. So what do you expect to see from Tua in year 2 as he progresses?
As long as your offensive line can give that man time to throw, it's look the hell out. That's all I can say. I mean, if anybody watched him in college at all, and I did, it was something special. I knew from the time that he started playing there that he was going to be something special. And, it's like with any quarterback, man, if you don't have a good offensive line, I don't care who's back there. You could throw Tom Brady back there. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be that great. So your success with Tua is going to depend on how much time you can give him in the pocket, and he can release it quickly. And you kind of nailed it on the head. You signed some key guys. Will Fuller, to me, is a great addition for you guys. It gives him another weapon. Gesicki, I have him in fantasy, so I hope Tua throws 4 touchdowns a game to him. But I really think that it all depends on how that offensive line will dictate what Tua is able to accomplish this year.
It's a very weird but accurate quote there.
That is. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that dog in there with Steve Smith and obviously the explosiveness of Tyreek Hill. But no, I think with Tua, obviously, he's very cerebral. And how do you think all this talk of, him not being good enough and all this, to me, I think Tua that doesn't even faze him at all. I think he's so tough-minded and humble that he's just going to go out there and work. I really don't think that he's hearing a lot of this noise. And if he does, it's just a minor blip on the radar for him. And he just puts his nose down and does his work.
Yeah, it's either one, he just lets it go. He doesn't care. Or 2, it's going to fuel him to show people what he can do. So he's such a family guy and a humble kid. He's probably one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet in your life, and a big-time family guy. But, yeah, I actually think it'll fuel him more than he'll let it go. He'll want to prove something, and he has something to prove, obviously, with all the negative talk that he got last year and up until now. I think he has something to prove, and he knows that. And I think, I think he can. It's just a matter, again, if your O-line can hold up. I don't know. What'd you guys do with your offensive line?
Well,
did you draft
we brought in some guys? Yeah, we've got some second-year guys. We got Austin Jackson. We got Eichenberg, who's probably going to slot in there at the right tackle based on injuries. But we've got some guys banged up in there. It's a little bit of a fluid situation. I'm not a big fan of our interior offensive line. So that's where I worry about more with Tua, is the pocket collapsing from the middle on him and him just getting outside the pocket. But he throws great on the run.
He does.
I want to see him, and he looks like he's bulked up a little bit. He's going to be stronger. Yeah. The hip's going to be 100%. So he's going to have more torque on the football. And I think his arm strength is overblown. I think his arm strength is actually above average to very good. You've seen him throw some of those dig routes and some of those quick outs, and he can zip the ball. He spins it. So, I think that's criticism's a little bit unfounded.
I think, too, helping him get the ball out quick, especially now that Waddle's there, Tua would throw a 5-yard slant to Jalen Waddle, and Jalen Waddle would take it 65 yards.
Yep.
So get him comfortable, especially your first game. Get him out, get some short throws in, get some completions, and then throw the air out of the ball, man. It's Waddle and Fuller, Gesicki. I think it's just going to be maybe that first game is going to be get the ball into some playmakers' hands and let them do it. And Jalen Waddle can do that. Yeah. He did it his whole career in college, so it's not going to change in the NFL.
No, I'm definitely excited to see those two together and them grow as an offense overall. I feel like a lot of the narrative on Tua is just completely just biased nonsense to generate traffic and clicks. And
I heard about that Deshaun Watson to Miami for Tua stuff, and I'm like, that would be the stupidest decision they could make. It was just going to be dumb.
Well, it's crazy because everybody in Miami, was invested for Tua. There was this whole tank for Tua movement.
Yeah.
And then he gets hurt, and Miami wins too many games to get the first pick, but yet he fortuitously falls to them with the 5th pick. So it seems like the stars aligned. Yeah. And this is kind of preordained for Tua to be a Miami Dolphin, to wear that number 1 and be under center in this team, because we've been looking for a franchise quarterback for over 20 years since Dan Marino left. So I've always felt that Tua could be the guy, and you just got to, like you said, build a good offense around him, protect him, and just push your chips in the center of the table with him. But want to just wrap it up here. What are your predictions for Sunday? Who do you like in the Dolphins and Pats matchup?
Man, I think this is me. I think it's going to be a good game. I actually think that Miami will win. And I think both quarterbacks are going to have a big game. I think Mac Jones is going to prove some doubters wrong, and I think Tua is going to prove his doubters wrong as well. But I think Miami wins, and I don't think it's big. I think it's going to be somewhere in the 28-24 range is what's going to happen. But yeah, I think Miami wins that game. And that's not because I'm on a Miami podcast. I'm legitimately telling you what I think. It's hard for me to root, when those guys are my guys. Right. But yeah, I think experience. The only thing, it's coaching. You got Bill Belichick on the other side. So Mac Jones is a prototypical Bill Belichick kind of quarterback. But I think experience level in this, and I think you guys have a little bit more playmakers than what New England has.
And they're missing Stephon Gilmore in the secondary. I think that's going to be a big loss for them. Yeah. So I agree. I think it might be a little bit of a high-scoring game because New England's going to come up with some schemes and some tricks to give Jones some easy opportunities probably. So I'm kind of with you on that. I think it might be like a 28-27 kind of game, real close down to the wire, maybe 31-28, something like that, last-minute field goal. Miami has a great kicker as well. But before we wrap this up, I want to give everybody a little bit of promo. Tell us about the Bama Lounge and when you guys are out. If anybody who follows college football wants to check you guys out.
Yeah, we go live every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central Time. So we'll be going actually live Tuesday, cover the Mercer game from this week. And it's a big game next week for Bama. Oh, Tannehill or Lamar Jackson? Tannehill.
Right now, I'm taking probably Tannehill. I just think he's shown a little bit more overall through his career. Besides, Jackson did win MVP, but I think Tannehill has performed more consistently year to year as a quarterback.
Let me just add this real quick. You know why Tannehill's good in Tennessee and he wasn't good in Miami? I'll tell you why. This is my perspective. Tannehill's good in Tennessee because he doesn't have to be the guy. The guy. He's got Derrick Henry. He's got A.J. Brown. He's got Julio now. We got some studs on defense. He just has to go out there and do his job, play quarterback, right? He doesn't have to be the sole guy of Miami, like he was in Miami. He's not that in Tennessee. So I think Tannehill's a great quarterback. I don't know what happened in Miami, but I just think him not having to be the main attraction and on a team or the 100% the leader all the time has got him kind of revitalized him a little bit here in Nashville. So
a change of scenery definitely did him really well. But,
it did.
It was one of those things where he just had to go, and the team moved on and got better without him. And he moved on and got better without the team. So but want to thank everybody for watching, obviously, and for Adam for joining us. And we'll be back probably next week to recap the Dolphins game on Tuesday, and then we're going to be live again on Friday as well. So want to thank you guys, and we'll catch you next time.